Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. I saw your exasperation blowing out that I wasn't there. Where the fuck is he? I've got things to do. I'm 3 minutes late. I'm 3 minutes late. I'm profusely sorry. I'll do two fucking rounds.
Stop using that bad language.
Sorry, Dad.
You got godly men here.
I know. I was trying to be profusely apologetic for being a couple of minutes late, Sir Nigel Benn.
How are you, Gary?
I'm really good, thank you. No, I'm really good. I'm really good, and it's lovely that you're over. And I was doing the studio on Saturday night, and I loved the celebrations, both of you. And I saw your absolute joy at Conor's victory. It was amazing.
Thank you, Gareth.
Oh, so I will begin at the beginning. Conor Benn. It's Wednesday. On Saturday night in Liverpool, you produced another performance which has everybody talking. You've had a chance to calm down. At the time, you were so delighted. Your father, Nigel, was there. It was amazing to see the celebrations. 20-0. Well, how are you feeling now? Are you ready for world title yet?
Of course, if they offered me the Ugas fight tomorrow, I'd take it. I know what I'm capable of in the gym, and forever evolving. I wasn't surprised when the stoppage come with Algeria. I said before the fight, I planned on making this fight look exactly like the fight it was supposed to be. And I did just that.
Your father fought Doug DeWitt and then Iran Barkley in his 27th and 28th fights. Obviously, Doug DeWitt was in America. He went over and he won the world title. Is it fair to say you're probably a year and a half away from fighting for the world title, maybe around 26, 27 fights?
No, not at all, mate. Could come in the next 2 fights. As I said, if they offered me the Ugas fight tomorrow, I'd take it. I reckon have one more fight, as Ugas has his mandatory, I believe. So I'd have one more fight early part of next year, and then bring me the world title. I've defended my WBA Continental 6 times now, so it's only right that they make me mandatory for that.
Do you feel it will be like a Broner next in the United States? I was trying to make the analogy as well that maybe you'll go to the States next.
I believe Eddie is making the Broner fight. So I'll leave that to them. At the end of the day, my job is to get in there and beat the geezer up in the other corner. So whoever they put in front of me, whoever they line up, I'll take out.
Do you think if it is Broner, it's your toughest fight so far?
They're all supposed to be tough. They're all supposed to be tough, Gareth. They are all tough fights. So yeah, you can say that, but who knows? We'll find out when we get in there on the night. Each fight at this level is a hard fight.
Yeah, no, I was looking at I think you're 7 with the WBC, and I was looking at the 6.
I'm 5. I think I'm 5
now. Are you? Yeah. Well, I was looking at
WBC, 5 with the WBA, 7 with the IBF. I think I'm roughly, under 10 in the WBO. So, and that was before this fight. So I take it I'm like top 3 in quite a few of them bodies.
Yeah, because the fights now, like you say, they're all incredibly tough fights. They're all fights where they're either pick'ems or you'll be underdog. With the likes of Avanesian, Yaron Ennis, all these guys, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Mikey Garcia. Are these all fights that you want as well? Because there's so many great opponents in the world.
Relish. You just mentioned Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia. I'd relish both of them fights. The Yaron Ennis's, the Avanesians, I'd like to fight for a world title. If they get to a world title before me, perfect. I'll fight them for a world title. But I think the Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia are fights I'd take next.
And
Most definitely, and that's without the world title, of course. But I think the Jaron Ennis, young, hungry lion like myself, Avanesian, I fight them for a world title.
And there's one other guy on there, and we've talked about him, you and I, for the last 2 years almost. Virgil Ortiz. That's a super fight, isn't it?
He's the top of the pile for me in the States. He's future pound for pound. I rate him, and that's a potentially massive, massive fight.
Tell me what goes on. Also, your dad with Victoria and your child, and what goes on for you in the days after a fight? Does a different aspect of you emerge? I mean, do you pray? Do you calm down the training, with the adrenaline gone and the fight over? What happens?
I pray all the time. The prayer isn't just something that I pray all the time when I'm in camp, when I'm out of camp. It's not. Prayer isn't based on what's going on in my life. Prayer is just a key fundamental in my life that keeps me stable. But apart from that, I was back in the gym Monday. I trained twice on Monday. So I fought on Saturday, yeah. Then I got up early, went for a 5-mile run with Tony. And then I'd done some weights. And then I'd done some more weights in the evening. And then yesterday, what training did I do yesterday? I'd done a run in the morning. Yeah, then I'd done some strength in the evening. And today I've just run and done a little bit of weights again. So I keep training because it keeps my mind healthy. It keeps me sane, so to speak. And nothing much changes, because I know when I don't train, I can go a little bit
squeawiffy.
Yeah,
that's a swear word, isn't it? I can hear your dad in the background.
Yeah, swearing, Dad.
Squeawiffy.
Don't let no one wholesome word proceed forth from your mouth. It's not edifying for the word of the Lord.
That's what I said.
Have you, having beaten him on Good Morning Britain, have you bought him a punch bag for Christmas?
Now I've put some weight back on. I definitely do.
No, you had to take a second shot.
Mate, I missed I'm fighting. Yeah, but I'm fighting, so I have to be careful with these hands.
No, so why'd you do it a second time then?
Well, because I knew where I could hit it. I knew which diameter I could hit. Gareth, don't start this, mate. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, there was a draw in the end, though, wasn't it? It was a draw, wasn't it?
I'm giving away like 3 stone, mate.
Yeah.
I'm giving away about 3 stone.
So what?
Can we have Dad in? Can we have Dad in with you? Because I mean,
Hey, wait, Dad, move the biscuits you got in there. The big box of biscuits.
Very good. So hi, Nigel.
How you doing, buddy?
So I watched this thing on Good Morning Britain. Can I ask you first of all? I mean, we saw you on Saturday night. Climb into the ring. Obviously you're beside yourself with joy for Conor, for your son. Are you proud and pleased with the way he's progressing with each fight?
100%. If you watch the interview that I had with, I was speaking to the blonde woman from Sky Sports, can't remember her name.
No, with Laura.
Yeah, that Laura, right? And when she was asking me before we was in the back of the car, we was just talking, and I said, like, I've got confidence in Conor because I saw what he'd done in the gym, Gareth. I saw the 12 4-minute rounds, not 3-minute rounds, 12 4-minute rounds with 30-second rest, with 2 big middleweights. I think one was like a super middleweight, was bigger than me, and yet. And Conor was dealing with them. They flew a guy from France. So I was absolutely not worried. And what I saw over this period of 2 to 3 months, I wouldn't care him fighting Crawford or Spence. I really wouldn't, because if one day it's going to come a time where he's going to meet a good fighter, and I would still throw him in there. I wouldn't care, because he's only getting out what he's put in. That's what he's getting out. And when I saw him fighting at Algeria, I wasn't even worried. I wasn't even worried. We're not
Worried,
worried.
was we? Both of us
No,
weren't.
we wasn't even worried. It's like, and so when you start talking about Mikey Garcia, you talk about Ortiz, yeah, he's the one that when they're up there, that I would like to see Conor fight.
Super fight, isn't it? Yeah.
But the others, like the Garcias and that, I would like to see him fight him anyway. I wouldn't
anyway,
I would want to fight. I don't even care if you for Terence Crawford or Spence. It wouldn't bother me, because if you want to beat, these are the guys that he's got to beat. And you think every fight that he's having, when you say, "Oh, this is going to be a hard fight. This is going to be a hard fight," what's he going to out there? He's going to wipe the floor, and he's not even been challenged. He's not even been challenged. Now they're going to mostly step him up again. And I guarantee he'll be challenged again. And I think when he starts moving up the ladder, he's only going to perform better. If he don't, he's going to get clumped.
Conor told us that just going into this fight that you were very hard on him growing up, and it made him the man he is today. But he's also said you've gone soft, yeah.
In his old age.
Come what?
Soft.
You've gone soft.
In what? My training on what?
No, we're not
No,
talking.
that you.
Why look at me like that, flaring up your chest?
No.
Soft.
I mean, no. It was. He always talks about you beautifully, Nigel. He loves you. You know that. And it was. He said that Dad was tough on me.
You don't pay your debt.
Pay my debt.
You don't pay
my debt.
Yeah.
You didn't make the weight, mate.
Look, I know. Oh, but let's not even go.
Yeah. Yellow tail.
Have you bought him that punch bag for Christmas anyway? Have you bought it,
I
Conor?
won't buy him nothing. He owes me money. So
I don't owe you a cent,
You
mate.
do.
Did you make the weight?
We had a 5
Did you
grand.
make the
We
weight?
had a 5
But
grand
did you
bet.
make the weight?
No, because you
No,
moved the-
exactly. So I don't owe you nothing because you didn't make the weight.
because you moved
You're
the
speaking
goalpost.
hypothetically.
No, you moved the goalpost.
You didn't make the weight, though,
You
mate.
keep
Listen,
moving the goalpost.
If you had made the weight, I would have get paid it.
No,
But you
no,
didn't make
you
it.
did. No, because you said,
I didn't say
we'll
nothing.
take the money from that.
I didn't say
You
nothing.
should, no, see, look what you're going to hit me with your nose in a minute.
I didn't say nothing. If you made the weight, I would have paid you. You didn't make the weight.
I was there.
But did you make it?
I was 4 pounds overweight.
Well, so you didn't make the weight then?
No, because you moved the
But
I told you I'm 4 pounds off. Well, no, take the money
No,
from
I
that.
didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And that's
So-
why, you know
You
what?
are talking such
No,
waffle.
Do you, the point I was making was that Conor was
The
saying
point that I'm making, he don't pay his debt.
The
Let's
point
go.
is-
that's fair enough. No, and listen, dads are always right. Dads are always right.
Brilliant.
But the Conor said you were softer on the younger siblings, but he's always happy that you were tougher on him than the rest.
I'll tell you what it was, Gareth. I saw a lot of my traits in Conor that I didn't like. And he was going down the wrong road. He was trying to live my old life from a very young age. And I didn't like it. So I had to be firm with him. And it was like, it wasn't nothing physical. It's just like, what, you got to be in at this time, you got to be on that time, you got to do this, you got to do that. I just kind of made it, not made it hard because I see where he was going.
No, you thought that's where I was going.
He was going.
I wasn't going that way. Yeah, I did in the end because I rebelled because of
Don't-
how harsh you were.
Hello?
You was harsh when I was like
Hello?
12 years old, mate.
Hello, because I saw where you was going.
No, I wasn't going. How can you go anywhere at 12 years old? You were a kid.
You was out there fighting. Remember you come up with
I
all
was a
these-
kid. You have a few scuffs in school.
I know, and then I went to go down and look for this guy
Yeah,
masked
you
up,
have,
right?
you have a few scuffs in school. That's it.
Yeah, I know. And then, so I had to keep my eye
You
on
didn't
you.
have to. I wasn't the kid. I wasn't the guy you see now. I used to sing in the church choir, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you did sing the
Yeah, I used to
church,
play
right?
the guitar. I used to listen to the Jonas Brothers. How can you say I was a troll kid?
I didn't say then. I just had to keep my eye on him.
You didn't have to.
I did have to keep my eye. That's where he is today because I kept my eye on him.
I believe that. I believe that, Conor.
That's where he is now. And you know what it is? And I look and I think, thank God that that we sent him back to England and the rest is history.
It is. It is an incredible story when
And you know what it is in now we have a better relationship now than we ever have. And a lot of things that I've done wrong, I apologize. Because it was really, really based on the relationship that the kind of life that I led that really affected my family. Do you understand what I mean, Gareth?
Absolutely, and I think
Yeah.
that's the weird thing is when.
So let me just clarify. It wasn't my fault that I had issues. So it wasn't my fault I had issues. Any kid that went through what I went through as a kid would have been traumatic. So therefore I turned out to be the way I was. But so that's inevitable, happens. That's the consequence of your action, me being the way I was.
Yes, I understand.
So you can't say I was a trouble kid, because I was actually an all right kid up until.
Yes.
It's probably fair to say, Conor, that because
I'm not going to be like you.
Yeah.
Never going to be like you. Never going to be like you.
I know, that must have pierced the soul.
Yeah, that did. I never want to be like you. And he screwed up all these things. Never. He looked at me like that with disdain. Never going to be like you. And I think, and when you hear that from your son talking about your dad, even though that you're wrong, and now you think to yourself, wow, thank you, Lord, that it's not like me.
And how funny is that? Now I wish I'm half the man he was.
No, but
it's so funny.
No, I don't, because I don't want you to wish you already past the man.
Do you know what I mean? It's just funny though, isn't it?
Yeah, because which way you've been.
There's outside the ring and there's inside the ring, isn't there?
Inside the ring, he's doing actually better than what I was. I think what it was outside the ring, the party life. That's what really kind of, I know, it brought a lot of tension in the house when he was growing up.
Yeah.
What he saw, well, not what he saw, it was what he heard.
Yeah.
Not cussing at mum or anything, but stories in the papers, sleeping with this woman, doing that, seeing his mum broken and all things like that, kind of like, made him had a hard exterior towards me. We didn't even like me, to tell you the truth. He couldn't even stand me. So and I understand it's only when I came to faith that my whole life changed. The drug use, the sex, the anger, everything kind of just deteriorated. And that's when I apologized to my whole family.
Having, when we're 25, when we were 25, Nigel, we did enjoy ourselves a lot. There was a lot to enjoy. It was
100%.
Yeah. Are you kind of proud and amazed that, because I'm amazed sometimes when 25-year-olds like Conor can actually make the sacrifice and not go wild at all. Does it amaze you about your son that he's able to do that?
Yeah, but he said this from a 14-year-old. No, we were still in Mallorca. So what he saw. Can't talk in India. My daughter. So what he saw at a young age, he knew he didn't want to be like me. Do you understand? So when he knows there, the drugs are partying, it's all right there. It's not going away. But that's not who he is. Mum never brought him up that way. But he had a little bit of sticky bits. But he learned from them. He didn't actually get cremated like me or singed. He felt that he didn't want to be like that. That wasn't who he was. And it's always like, you can hear that ringing in your ear, Mum. Oh, Conor, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be doing that. And it stuck. So, but he actually didn't even have to go through that because he saw the pain that he would cause if he done what I done. He knows the pain. He knows the pain, and he knows how it affected him growing up. And what really affected him when I left the house for 1 year, he remembers, and he says now, all he remembers, he's saying that he had a pain in his heart. He was only young that I left. It was like his hero had to leave and go and live with my pastor for 1 year.
Do you remember that, Conor?
Yeah, of course he remembers that. That was like traumatic with him, because like all of a sudden these heroes left and going to live with somebody else for 1 year. And he said,
how old were you then, Conor?
13.
Oh, so it's a very formative time as well.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, it was definitely a hard period because I was old enough to understand, which was the worst part. Because if I was maybe 9 or 8, you don't really understand. But because I was old enough to understand, it was hard.
It's amazing to hear all that. So Christmas is coming up. Do you keep training? Is Dad staying? Have you got more family over? Tell me about Christmas.
Dad's staying till New Year's, which is lovely because it's Eli's first Christmas. We'll still be training together. Keep the weight down. I've already had a mince pie this morning with a couple of chocolate biscuits, and it's only yeah, exactly. Oh, that's not good, is it?
No, I'm going to drink straight after here.
Yeah.
Yule log is the one. When you buy the Yule log, you know, the chocolate log.
No, sounds good though.
Yeah. It sits there for 48 hours, and then, you know, it's the chocolate, and then you go, I'll have a slice, and then
that's it. Yeah, that's
an hour later, and then 3 a.m. I think I'll just get up and have a coffee. And it's like, it just goes on. It's the Yule log stuff. What does it mean to be achieving the things now where you said to us on a call before this fight, Conor, that God, if I can do half the stuff Dad done, I'll be proud. And he's telling you you've done more than he's done already. How does that feel?
It's flattering, overwhelming, but he is my dad. So to him, I would have already achieved more than he has, but there'll always be this argument between us of me being in his shadow and him saying I'm not. I think there will forever be that argument. I think I'll always be in my dad's shadow, which ain't a problem to me. But you see it in the negative.
I don't think it being. If I look,
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I know. But if I look in and say, me training, Gaff, and I'm telling you the truth, me at my peak as world champion.
What were you, 28, 27, 28, yeah?
I'm at my peak. Yeah. I'm talking about when I'm like, world champion, I'm there.
Yeah.
He's already achieved that with his training. His training aspect is completely different. We never had strength and conditioning. We never had dietitian and Twitch. What's Twitch fibers? We never knew all about all these things. So the team that he had, I never had a team like that. And it's showing, to do 12 4-minute rounds with 30 seconds rest. I think after about 4 rounds, I've got to sit down and have a fag and just bring myself down again. Compared to what he does. Completely different training. Completely different. He trains like a beast. And I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning with him, watching him train and training with him. And it's like I just switched on back into the army training, up at 5 before the alarm even gone off. We're up, we're ready to go. Start the gym at 6 o'clock. We're already in the gym. I have to drive about 20 kilometers and we're in the gym. And then after that, he comes home, goes to sleep. I relax. Then afterwards we get up and then we go to the gym again. This was like for 3 months. 3 months. So that's when I was not worried about Algeria. I saw what he'd done in the gym. So when you got that's the confidence that I've got, and where I look at him now and think to myself, well, I see him going all the way. You say, well, you're living in your father's footsteps, but he's not, because he's what I look at him and I think, oh my gosh, the training that you do is absolutely phenomenal. So I just see him going all the way.
If you were to pick, I don't want to start a debate over Christmas and New Year with the two of you and leave you with it, but what are the areas you'd like to see him improve in? Is it feinting and footwork? Where would you like to see him improve?
He done all that. He done it all on Saturday. The only thing I would see is just have a nice high guard. That's it. Nothing else. He's got the shots. And the funny thing about it, I know he's got an engine on him, but he's not even been out of first gear yet. He's not being challenged. So there's nothing that I would say that, all I say is, and what he was doing, working the body, he does all that now. You're only seeing a little bit of him. You ain't seen the full Conor Benn,
Guys, it's always a privilege and a pleasure, an utter pleasure to see you, Conor, but see both of you together is always so amazing for me. And it's I just wish you both a wonderful Christmas with the
And
family.
you,
Cheers,
Gareth.
Gareth. Thank you,
Happy
mate.
Christmas, buddy.
Yeah, lovely to see you. Thank you so much and congratulations. I'll see you in the new year probably, yeah?
See you then.
Take care,
Yeah,
buddy.
lovely. Cheers.
Bye
See you.
then. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.